Hi, my name is Ken Asselson. I wrote a microbiome prescription website. A reader tossed in an interesting pair of results. One came through Biomesight and one came through Thorne. Biomesight does a 16S analysis, which is less resolution. Thorne does what appears to be shotgun, and Thorne also provides percentiles automatically, so we can use their results as soon as we get them in, rather than having to wait until we get enough samples to calculate percentiles. Since most companies don't provide percentiles, and I find percentiles are really the sweetness for understanding what's going on. So here we have his results, and he has the typical overrepresentation of bacteria in the 0 to 9 percentile. And then about typical everywhere except for two spots, which is interesting. One is the 50 to 59th percentile. He has a big stack there, which is interesting. And then at the 90 to 99 percentile, a slightly atypical spike, especially when considering the genus level is there. But that's partially a function of how many species are recorded in each genus. So there's a bit of how do we say, complexities. Okay, so that's the first one, and what I will do is basically I'll click update, which I already done, and then just give me suggestions, and away we go. And I'll change to the second one, and then we'll also do it, and then we'll show where we go from there. So here's the Biomesight report on basically the same sample. We see the same characteristic, the overrepresentation of 60 to 9 percentile, but we don't see the oddities at the species level at 999 or at the 50 to 59. So there's a difference there, which hopefully in my blog post we did ignore it. But right now my concern is looking at agreement or disagreement between each test in terms of suggestions. One thing to remember is that the data is sparse, and I'm using fuzzy logic across things. So even though things don't agree, the goal is almost like what's statistics called the central limit theorem. We expect the results and the suggestions should converge, even though in some cases the data reported will be different species or different strains, or even different genuses. We will expect a general convergence of suggestions, which hopefully we're going to find out. So I now again click here and then there. We are over on the suggestions. Now this is a cookbook to simplify suggestions without all the details. What we are actually going to be using is the consensus data from the 4 sets of suggestions, which is automatically generated by the Just Give Me Suggestions, and then going to multiple samples here. So we have our 2 sets of samples here. We click those, indicating we want these to create a Uber consensus, and now we just click that and we get our results. And what we have now is the combination of them, and what we find is that looks like we may actually only have 7 counts. Yep, we have 7 counts. One of the canned methods, which probably did not produce any bacteria selector, which is what is probably causing the issue. I suspect that's probably from the Thorne, and there's many reasons there. But so we have there, and we have a whole stack of things all sitting at 7. In fact, all of that page, next page, next page, next page. So we have pretty heavy consensus in terms of suggestions for there. And let's go in terms of priority. They're going down, and we see that almost all of them are indeed 7. I'll bump it up to being 100. And we'll see, hey, we have agreement pretty far down the line, the same suggestions, which means that although we have 2 different lab results reporting different bacteria, slightly different methodology, when we put it all together, we get the same set of suggestions. So in one way, it doesn't matter which lab you make use of, Biomesight, Ombre, or Thorne, all of them will generally produce the same or very similar suggestions one to each other. So first question answer for this person is basically suggestion stays the same. You may notice a bit of reordering for things. So these could hop back and forth between orders, but that's not particularly significant because remember, it's fuzzy logic. So these numbers are fuzzy estimators. They can be significantly off. Okay,